Yes, we're spending our summer, or rather our summer vacation dollars, gutting this bathroom and fixing it up. What started as a leaking shower pan came a decision to gut this entire bathroom and upgrade it. Oh my gosh, that's the original wallpaper in this room. But it's not just the bathroom that's getting a major overhaul.
Here we are, my summer project, getting this master bedroom and bathroom completed. As you can see, I am dressed appropriately. We torn everything out, and now it's time to rebuild it, repaint it, re-caulk it, fix it all up to be our paradise here in San Antonio.
Okay, so a lot of work here to do in the bathroom and in the bedroom, and while the crew is working hard here, we'll come back and check on their progress later. But let's take you now to our road trip for this episode. Melissa and I are piling into the car, and we're headed back out to West Texas, to the historic town of Fort Davis. Today we once again go deep into West Texas to find another hidden gem in the Lone Star State, Fort Davis, Texas.
Okay folks, here we are at Fort Davis, Texas.
Fort Davis! We're in Fort Davis, Texas! We are in Texas's Mile High City. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Yeah, let's go. Let's go see Fort Davis.
Let's go see Fort
Woo!
Davis.
Bye!
Bye!
Fort Davis, Texas, population 1,050, is in the heart of Jeff Davis County along the northern Chihuahuan Desert. Now back in the late 1800s, it was home to an old frontier military post situated along the Davis Mountains. At an elevation of just about 5,000 feet, it's one of the highest towns in Texas and is host to some of the most beautiful scenery across the land and in the sky. For our first stop, we are going to travel back in time to the Fort Davis National Historical Site. This old Army outpost was originally established in 1854 and named after then Secretary of War Jefferson Davis. This is one of the best remaining examples of a U.S. Army frontier fort in the Southwest. You can almost imagine what soldier life was like out in the old frontier by meeting with reenactors and walking through displays like this restored barracks.
This is how the barracks would have looked back then, with the exception of all this really nice plastic. The re-roofing, the ceiling is made out of canvas, and there's 50 years of dirt on the other side of the canvas.
So for an enlisted soldier here living in these barracks, life was very tedious, monotonous, downright boring at times. On the officer side of the house, though, things were a little bit more elegant. So officer quarters, like the post commander's house here, had all the modernizations and conveniences of the time. Obviously not as Spartan as the enlisted quarters. So I guess life wasn't all that easy on these frontier posts, but just like with our duty assignments, you make the most of what you can with it. And this is the old post hospital here at Fort Davis. You know, being out in the middle of nowhere, when you get sick, you end up over here. And out here in the frontier, if you ended up here, you may not be coming out. Gosh, I can only imagine how harsh medicine was out here in the frontier back in those days. Well, I don't know if those are vultures circling overhead on those cliffs, but we're going to leave this old post here, and we got more exploring to do here in Fort Davis, Texas. Who is the real Kenny Kovacs? He says he loves animals, so why did he vote against tax cuts for puppies?
Wealth spreader.
He supported funding allowance increases before voting against them.
Flopper.
He wines and dines with lobbyists, but 13 years ago he was palling around with terrorists.
Terrorists.
This election day, say no to Kenny Kovacs.
I'm Sam Kovacs, and I approve this message.
Wow, we're about 10 days in the project now, and now the bathroom is taking shape. Over here is kind of our new walk-in shower. Let's bring the camera in a little closer to the shower over here. Walking carefully. And this will be a nice walk-in shower now, and the beauty of it is it'll fit a Newfoundland dog. So we can wash the puppies in here.
Here's our new bench and our niche back there for soaps and shampoos. Our new shower. We're gonna have a handheld shower spray. And a Newfie will fit. Ulf likes showers. Lily likes baths. So Lily will have a new bathtub along with Mommy.
And everything goes, including the old tile. We're replacing it with this new wood-looking porcelain tile. And that goes double for the bedroom too. New paint, new tile, no carpet. So we'll come back in and check in on the progress of the bedroom and the bathroom. But until then, let's take you back to our road trip to Fort Davis, Texas. Okay, well next we're going to get in the car and we're going to drive out to probably one of the most beautiful views in Texas at Davis Mountain State Park. Now there's campgrounds and hotels and trails that you can hike, but if you don't have a lot of time, just drive up the Scenic Loop Road to get a view of one of the most beautiful sights in the state of Texas.
We are in Fort Davis State Park, and this is a scenic loop that we are driving around. We're at the very top, or pretty close to the top, as far as we can drive, and we thought we would stop and give y'all a little bit of a view.
It's a pretty cool view there. We're about I don't know, 5,500 feet up probably. Yeah. I'm feeling it.
Lots of water. Gotta drink lots of water.
Yes.
Yeah,
Of course, we hiked all the way
Yeah. Great.
because cars are for sissies.
Yeah.
Well, we would have hiked, but there's a lot more to see around and above Fort Davis. Now, for our next stop, we're not just going to reach for the stars, we're going to go stare at them as well. Hey everybody, we're here in Fort Davis, Texas at the McDonald Observatory Visitor Center here. We're going to see some stars.
Yeah, let's go see some stars.
All right. So the McDonald Observatory is part of the Department of Astronomy at some college in Austin, Texas. I can't remember its name. But the observatory has 4 research telescopes, including one that the lens is 9.2 meters long. Why have all these telescopes here? Well, number one, it sits at about an elevation of 6,800 feet. The dry climate leads to very scarce cloud cover. And 3, there's really no light pollution out in the middle of nowhere here. So the McDonald Observatory has this nice visitor center with all sorts of interactive displays and models. Yeah, this is all nice, but I want to see some telescopes. I wonder if they have any guided tours here. And in fact, on specific days, you can tour some of the telescopes, like this one, the Harlan L. Smith Telescope. It was completed in 1968, and its mirror is 2.7 meters long. The telescope weighs 160 tons.
Lori, that could be the largest thing you drive in your life if you're trying to drive a locomotive or an oil tanker. Just look down, we're not moving. And don't worry, you can't turn it so many times that it unscrews like a lid and falls off. Don't worry about that. Look what Katie's moving, 220 times. You do lift weight.
That was cool. But the real show begins when the sun goes down. Hey everybody, it's Just about 8 p.m. right now, and we're back at the McDonald Observatory here near Fort Davis, Texas.
We are going to see my stars.
Oh yes, it's a big star party tonight.
Stargazing.
Stargazing party. No stars tonight. Though, isn't that George Clooney over there?
Where?
Should be pretty cool.
Look at the stars without lights from town or light pollution.
Yeah, no light pollution
Look
whatsoever.
at the stars. And you can see the night is perfectly clear. There's not one cloud anywhere in the sky.
Now, if you've never been to the star party at the McDonald Observatory, put that on your bucket list right now. When volunteers will set up telescopes all across the grounds, giving you the opportunity to view heavenly bodies above the sky. Or you can gather in the outside amphitheater and look skyward and get a tour of all the constellations. Now, my Samsung Galaxy 7 camera can't do justice to the view you're going to see, but if you're here live, this is what the sky will look like. So Fort Davis is not a large town by any means. You can pretty much walk through the town in just under an hour, but there are cool little sights to see, like the county courthouse, or the county jail, which apparently is under construction. Don't tell the bad guys that. So there's some nice fancy hotels and restaurant bistros for you to have food. But for dinner, we're deciding to go more authentic than that. We're headed to the Fort Davis Drugstore and Hotel.
So we're here at, what's the name of the drugstore?
I don't know, we'll figure it out.
The drugstore.
Yeah.
We have a nice little restaurant. They've got a soda fountain with ice cream, milkshakes, things like that. We came for dinner. We got, I got chicken fried steak, and Ken got some sirloin burger, and mushrooms and onions. And there's a baked potato bar and a salad bar. Get your Texas toast and your token vegetables. But it's really good. The chicken's nice and moist, it's not dried out. The crust is pretty good. Potato bar's got just what you need on it. And the salad was nice and crispy.
And of course, when you're done eating, you can go shopping. Just pick one already. Now later on our walk, we came across this. An ice cream shop in a train? Nothing can be more Kovats than this. This is two great tastes that taste great together. Ice cream and trains. So it's an old Kovats family tradition. You have to drive hundreds of miles just to go get some ice cream for the afternoon.
The ultimate road trip for Papa. Go get ice cream on a train.
Well, I guess our work here in Fort Davis is almost done. Just one more stop. And that means visiting the local Catholic parish of Fort Davis, St. Joseph's Church. Built in 1899 and part of the Diocese of El Paso, the church has some late Victorian influences and is part of a network of churches that serve the Marfa, Fort Davis, and Alpine communities. And also has a, it looks like they're setting up for a funeral. I think we'll just leave out the back door inconspicuously before things get awkward. And that wraps up our trip to Fort Davis, Texas. Yeah, it's remote, but it's got some beautiful scenery, great history, and small town charm. Sam Kovat says he wants to clean up Washington. Really? He can't even clean his own room. And for 3 days, he didn't take the garbage out, which filled up our landfills and increased global warming. I guess Sam doesn't like polar bears. Even the New York Times says Sam is a liberal. Sam Kovacs, thanks, but no thanks.
I'm Kenny Kovacs and I approve this message.
And here we are, the new bedroom, with the new sandy green walls. Gives it a rather tropical appearance, especially when looking out the window at the pool. The new brown porcelain tile is a lot better than that ugly brown carpet we had in the room. And now we enter the new master bathroom. Dual bowl sinks on top of the counters. The tile extending into the bathroom now adds continuity to the room. And check out the job Graham, our contractor, did on the wall tile. Real fine, high quality workmanship here. And of course, here's our new walk-in shower. Again, plenty of room for two Newfoundlands to get their showers. So our thanks to Graham and UK Construction here in San Antonio. They did a wonderful job in this bathroom renovation project. It truly is a morale builder for us.
Okay, there you have it, our new bedroom and bathroom. Thanks to Sean and Graham at UK Construction. They did a great job and can't wait to have them back. We've got a long list of projects for them to do around here.
Getting longer every time.
Yeah.
Every time I walk through the house, it gets longer.
Just gotta save the money to make it happen.
Well, plenty to keep them busy with. Well, that does it for this edition of the video postcard here in the Lone Star State. Join us again next time as we have more adventures across Texas and beyond. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.